Hello and good afternoon. My name is Shemer Katz with SafeCharge. I'm glad for the opportunity to present this case study with our client from GG Corp by Leopold Morel. But before I give the stage to him, I just want to make a short introduction to who SafeCharge is. And when I thought about why do I need to introduce the company SafeCharge, I remember that I think it was 2 years ago, we had a company event, and it was evening time in the desert. The company was quite big at the time. We had more than 100 employees in our Israeli office, and I thought that we are quite known here, at least here in Israel. And we had an artist joining us for that evening, quite famous one. I will not disclose the name, but if someone wants, you are welcome to approach me after this presentation. And then after his performance and everybody enjoys it, he comes to me and he said, "Can I get one of your chargers? I need to charge my cell phone." And then I realized that the guy had no idea what we are doing. So this long story, just as an excuse to introduce shortly the company. Basically, SafeCharge is a payment processing company. We are enabling game developers to accept payments from their clients around the world. The company went public last year in the AIM market in London. We are processing around $6 billion a year. And we have a relationship with more than 16 acquiring banks, offering more than 120 alternative payment options, 65 currencies for processing, and hundreds of clients on board. One of them is here with us today, and I would like to give the stage to Mr. Leopold Morel from GG Corp to present the case study of how proper setup of payments helped to develop the international distribution of the game.
Thank you, Shemer. Okay, I'm Leopold Morel from GG Corp company. So good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be there with you, speaking about this subject, which is very important, by the way. My company is established since 2014, so we are quite new. This is a game publishing company, which trying to develop its own game in the near future, maybe next year. And we started with one browser game, and from the beginning we started collaboration with SafeCharge. And by the way, I want to make special thanks to SafeCharge, because without them, it wouldn't have been possible to success and to manage all our new games. Because from 2014 to 2015, we have more than 10 games in different countries and in different platforms. So thank you very much. Okay, so this is our initial focus for Europe, especially France, Germany, and not Europe, but Brazil, because it's a huge emergent market. So it was important for them. And in the near future, we are going to open a new market in Russian, in Arabic countries, and the English market, by the way, which is the biggest. So our goal is to represent 5% of the French market next year. It's huge, but it's possible. And in 2017, we are going to to represent 0.5% of the English market. Okay, so you can imagine that you have a lot of challenge when you start video games company, and one of the biggest problem is to find a good provider. So I will explain to you, I'll try to explain to you all these challenges. Because the first challenge is to improve the conversion. So that's the best point if the customers doesn't seems very good in your payment page. It's not good for them. So that's the first challenge. The second one is not the first problem, because for us, for example, we started with French markets, so we were waiting for French solution. Now we are going to explore new markets, so we need globalization, and SafeCharge can reply this problem very well. The third challenge is for our back, because to give more services to the customers, you have to know exactly what problem you have in your games and in the payments also. So you need to have a very good back office to see which problem you have and how you can solve this problem. So for that, SafeCharge is one of the best for sure. Okay, this is also a big problem, and it depends on the country, because you don't have the same fraud in France and in Germany and in Brazil. So when you start with France, it's easy to manage fraud. But for example, Brazil, it's very complicated. So you have a lot of fraud, and to manage that, you need to work very. You have to be intelligent with your provider to reduce your fraud, and we will see how. Okay, about the last big challenge you have, it's when you start a video game company and you want to look after a provider. If you want to manage payments by yourself, it's very complicated, and you will have high charge instead of a provider. That's for sure. We try. It was our first idea to manage the problem of payments, but it's impossible. And now, after 1 year, it's sure you have better cost-effective rates when you're working with a provider. This is additional criteria if you're looking for good provider. Okay. To be honest, when we started the company, we started with different provider, and we were very lucky to work with SafeCharge, because SafeCharge has all these criteria, which are very important to have a good relation between your clients and your provider and your team, everybody in your company. So you can read the additional criteria you need. For example, the easy and quick integration. When we opened the market, the Brazilian market, it was so quick. For me, I didn't think it was possible to be as fast as SafeCharge. Okay, this is a page to see all alternative payments. This is the French page. You will see after the German page, which is the same. You can see on the left all alternative payments you can find in Germany. It will change, depends on the country. That's an evidence. You can choose your country and your currency. So that's very important, because you give the choice to the customer. So that's the best point to keep a good conversion rate. And of course, all information about the clients and the credit card. Okay, this is 2 graphics from the back office. I think I don't have the time to explain the back office because it's huge, but you can find all information you need to improve and to optimize your payment rate and your conversion rate. So, okay, about the fraud prevention, the best way is the 3D secure, for sure, because it prevents all fraud. But with my team, we try to get another way, which is open a team of a fraud team, which take all information from customer data you can find in the back office and directly call the clients about the fraud. And with our team in France, I think it's less than 1% fraud. So it's not as huge as 3D Secure, because 3D Secure is 0%. But with 3D Secure, you have to know that for a country as France, you lose a lot of money. That's sure, because, for example, with our game in France, the average of amount is high amount, is always high amount. So customers don't want to have 3D Secure all the time. So you lose money. You lose fraud, but you lose money with 3D Secure. But with country as Brazil, that's better because you don't have really high amounts from customers. So, and you have a lot of fraud, compared to country as France. So the 3D Secure is, you need to take the 3D Secure, and it's very good for prevention. Okay, the global coverage, as I told you before, now with SafeCharge we are able to cover all the worldwide with our games, and that's good. They have a lot of alternative payment method because it depends on the country. About fraud prevention, I told you that we are less than 1%, but in France it's less than 1%. And increased conversion, okay. I think thanks to SafeCharge, we wrote that it's at least 20% of the ratio, but I think it's more than that if you are not working with a provider as SafeCharge. It's between 30 and 40%, so it's huge, very huge. And about the cost-effective rates, with the back office, you can see everything is transparent. If you need information, you can call a person in SafeCharge team, and they can reply your question at any time. They find solution at any time. So that's best. Okay, for this tape, I think Shemer can explain more than me about the dynamic pricing. Thank you.
So basically, what the client is asking us here is that in some cases, there are different cost structure to the payment method that the player chooses to pay with. So the client decided that they basically want to shift the cost and not to absorb it by themselves. So basically, if a player comes and wants to buy something that the original cost is 10 euros, if he decides to pay with a cheap payment method like credit card, then the price will be increased slightly. If he wants to pay with a more expensive one like a cash voucher, then the price might be increased even by 10% or something like that. So basically, the client is agnostic to the payment method that the player wants to pay with.
Thank you. This is our expansion until the end of this year, because you have to know that we worked in French market until January 2015, and this year we opened already Brazil and Germany markets, and we're going to open this year Russian market. So we are working in collaboration with SafeCharge to have all alternative payment method and everything to work well in Russian also. Okay, about mobile solution, as I told you before, we worked with browser games at the beginning, and now it's time for us to take the mobile markets. So for now we have 2 games, and we're going to open a lot of one. So about mobile solution, I think with SafeCharge we tried to manage the solution as we are looking for, because we have our experience in browser game, and now we need to be as good as our experience in browser game to mobile game. So we're working very closely with SafeCharge for that. Okay, we are going to develop also, it's almost done, a new game, and maybe one of the first RPG game which can be played simultaneously to all platforms, Facebook, application, mobile, browser. And for this game, we need a globalization of all the aspects of payments. And so we are still working with SafeCharge very closely to be perfect for this new game, because it's very important for our future. Okay, I give back the speaking to Shemer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Leopold. So, first of all, I'm glad that you're happy with the products and services, and hope to continue serving you like this. I just wanted to wrap up this with explanation of where the company is today and what we intend to do. So our efforts are to continue to personalize the deposit and the checkout experience of each and every player, to enhance the entire user journey during the checkout and the payment, which is the critical place in the conversion funnel. We are also entering additional points in the payment ecosystem, such as card issuing, point of sale, and basically the company offering will be a complete payment ecosystem. I'll take you to the beginning, where I thought that maybe the company is not known enough, so I'll allow myself to show you a short clip, 40 seconds, about what we did in the last 6 months.
We don't have to worry about an encrypted vault anymore to store all of that credit card data. SafeCharge look all after all of that for us.
We are open for any questions. Yes, please.
We have a volunteer coming with a microphone, and so raise your hand and he'll get to you in just a second.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a question. Let's say I am a merchant or a gaming studio and there are a lot of different possibilities for a payment solution. So why should I pick SafeCharge?
So one of the things that you have to consider is, just as Leopold just mentioned, the global coverage, the proper risk management solution in order to minimize the fraud and obviously under a reasonable false positive, proper back office for consolidated transaction management from all the payment methods. So that include cards and alternative payments as well. So there are plenty of consideration. It definitely depends on the game itself, what your targets are, what your target markets are, and so on.
I think as a client, I will add some information about that. As I told you before, I try a lot of, not a lot of, but different provider, and that's for sure. SafeCharge is the best provider we took because you need information, you have information. For example, I will not give you the name of the company, but with another provider, I don't know exactly the amount of my fees. Okay, so that's a big problem, and they cannot manage that. With SafeCharge, everything is transparent. So I think with SafeCharge, when you need information, you have. That's in the back office. And you have always one people who is available for you if you have any question. If you want to improve something, you can ask them, and they'll find solution for you. And I'm not very experienced because we are new, but the fact is we success with SafeCharge. Thank you.
I have time for one or two more questions.
So I saw on one of your slides that you were able to increase conversion, and I wonder exactly how. Like, what were the elements that moved the needle for GG Corp?
It's for me also. You increase conversion by a lot of different aspects. The first aspect is, if you want to manage by yourself, it's impossible because it's a lot of information you have to manage to improve conversion. For example, with the fraud, if you don't have a good customer data, it's impossible to manage that and you lose a lot of money. So that's just an example, but you can imagine with all the different aspects you have to manage. So you can improve, I told you, maybe 30 or 40%, it's reality. If, be careful, if you manage by yourself. Maybe if you try to use another provider, you will have good conversion, but not as good as SafeCharge. Thank you.
Thanks. I think that's about all we'll have time for. Everybody give another round of applause for Shemer and Leo.